What's up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Omega Ruby and today's challenge will be, can I beat Pokemon Omega Ruby hardcore Nuzlocke using only Wally'S team, but it's also a shiny hardcore Nuzlocke, so we have to shiny on for every single Pokemon on Wally'S team. Technically Wally has an after game team that has full 6 Pokemon, but they're kind of good, so I decided just to limit myself to Wally'S original team, which most people do know this is his team. Even though he switched up from Ruby Sapphire into this because he has a Gallade and not a Gardevoir. Anyways, this is going to be Wally'S team. We're going to do a Wally only hardcore Nuzlocke. And the rules are on screen right now. It's going to be a hardcore Nuzlocke basically. All the rules are pretty simple. Only catch the first Wally Pokemon in each route. Which, I mean, there's not a lot of them in the same route. But also you can't pass the level cap. There's no items inside a battle. Must play on set mode. You know, hardcore Nuzlocke rules. And my own personal favorite rule. Each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So thank you so much for leaving a comment in my previous challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a future Pokemon in my future challenge video, just drop in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you're down here, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Let's get into the challenge video itself. So to begin off our challenge, there is a... I actually don't know if this counts. Do people count this or not? Because my Nuzlocke didn't technically start because we don't have any Wally'S Pokemon. We're going through the tutorial of the game and we face off against May and we lose against her. So I don't know if that's losing it, but I just kind of kept going and just pretend nothing happened until we head into Route 102. Route 102 is going to be the first area in the game which allows us to find one of Wally'S Pokemon. In here, you're able to find yourselves a Ralts, which we're able to finally find a shiny Ralts after a long bit of waiting. This was really annoying for some reason just to find this Ralts, but we're able to find ourselves a shiny Ralts, capture it, add it to our team as our very first Pokemon. And I did train up my Ralts so I could get Disarming Voice, so I could face off against this Team Magma Grunt with Disarming Voice and beat it down in one turn. Instead of using the old growl method to make it struggle and make it miss all its attack, yeah, we don't do that. Lucky enough, we're able to pass through Petalburg Woods pretty easily and head into Route 106, something outside of Rustboro City on the east side of it. You're able to go into this route and you're able to encounter the next Pokemon on Wally'S team. This next Pokemon is going to be a Skitty, which I don't think anyone's ever used a Skitty in their life. Whose favorite Pokemon is Skitty? If your favorite Pokemon is Skitty, leave it in the comments and I'll remember to block you later on. Anyways, we found ourselves a shiny Skitty, which isn't too difficult to find. We're able to capture it, add it to our team, and then face off against Roxanne. Roxanne's gonna be the very first gym leader in Pokemon Omega Ruby. We're gonna start the battle off against her Geodude using my Skitty to actually sing in front of the Geodude. Unfortunately, I missed the first sing, so I got hit with a Rock Tomb. But I can go out to my Ralts next, and I'm able to like two-shot it using Confusion as I'm able to knock out the Geodude. Now comes the hard part as I'm able to go for Confusion against Nosepass. It does a lot of damage, so I decided to go back out into my Skitty. Skitty's able to sing it, and unfortunately I don't have a lower attack stat move, so I can't actually do anything. I don't have Growl or anything, so I have to beat it down using Confusion. And I thought my Ralts was going to be able to outspeed him. I was wrong. She heals up her Nosepass, then I get hit with another Rock Tomb, and at this point I thought I was still faster than her. But unfortunately, she actually outspeeds me. Lucky enough, she doesn't hit me with a Rock Tomb. She hits me with a Tackle. I survive it, and Confusion would knock out the Nosepass. And we barely beat Roxanne. So that was could have been really bad if we lose Ralts on the first gym battle. From there, we're going to actually move out to Dewford Island since there's not a lot of things to do. And the level cap only jumps 2 levels. We're just going to face off against Brawly next. Brawly is going to be the fighting type gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Ralts. Ralts is going to do its thing. 2 Confusions, knock out both of Brawly's Pokemon. Actually, no, 3 Confusions because I two-shot the Makuhita for some reason. I don't know what kind of rolls these are, but we're able to beat down Brawly pretty easily and then move into Mauville City. Mauville City, we're not going to go to the gym just yet. We decided to go west of Mauville City and head into the grass routes right outside of here. There's another Pokemon that Wally has on his team that's going to be available for us. It's going to be in here. It's going to be a Roselia. We're able to find ourselves a shiny Roselia and add it to our team. With all these Pokemon, most of them, actually all of them we have right now, evolved via Stone Evolution, so I decided to go in and super train my Pokemon. Firstly, this boosts up my Pokemon stats just significantly because they go through AV training and all that stuff. So we're able to actually boost up our Pokemon stats first and then clear through all these stone reward mini games, and eventually we're gonna get a shiny stone and also a Dawn Stone to evolve our Kirlia into a Gallade. I luckily forgot that we do need a male Kirlia, and luckily enough we do have a male Kirlia to evolve it into a Gallade, and then go into the Pokemart and get ourselves the Power Up Punch TM from the Pokemart and then face off against Watson next. Watson is going to be the electric type gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Gallade to Power Up Punch into his Magneton. He is unfortunately getting done away with me, which I didn't care about because I'm a Power Up Punch again. he eventually is going to Volt Switch into his Voltorb, which I Power Punch again. And I'm able to knock out the Voltorb and also knock out his Magneton as he keeps allowing me to Power Punch his entire team. My Gallade has a lot of defenses as it's a fully evolved Pokemon on the 3rd gym, so I'm able to knock out the Magnemite. We're able to beat down Watson and get the 3rd gym badge of the game super easily. From there, we're going to move out and break these rocks. I taught my Gallade Rock Smash. I decided not to get a Zigzagoon to do this for some reason. This was a dumb plan because now I Rock Smash into Lily Cove City where I could get it removed, but yeah, I just have Rock Smash on my Gallade now. I don't know why I did that. From there, we're going to head into the routes right outside of Meteor Falls, where we're able to find ourselves a Swablu. This is the next member on Wally's team. It doesn't take too long for us to find a shiny Swablu, because obviously there's Swablus everywhere. There's also Nuzlocke, which hopefully we don't get a shiny one of those. We're able to find ourselves finally a shiny Swablu, which is going to be a golden Pokemon. I'm able to do some chip damage to it and then eventually catch it and add it to our team. From there, we could jump ahead a little bit and face off against the next gym leader in the game. We're to face off against Flannery next. Flannery is going to be the fire type gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against her using obviously my Gallade. Gallade is just my favorite Pokemon at the moment. I think it's my favorite Pokemon on his team. Anyways, we're going to start the battle off against Flannery using my Gallade to Sword Dance in front of her Slugma, and then Rock Tomb to knock out the Slugma. She then switches out to her Torkoal, which I thought was going to be a bit of an issue because it might overheat me, but it decides to go for a Curse. And the AI, I feel like the AI is dumber than actually Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, which is kind of a shame because I'm able to Rock Tomb twice to knock out the Torkoal as she does like no damage to me. We're also able to Rock Tomb into the Nummo and knock him out. Just kind of useless. It wasn't even super effective. We're able to beat down Flannery and get the 4th gym badge in the game. From there, we're going to finally evolve our Roselia into a Roserade right before the next gym. Just for fun. I don't know. I was looking for a new Pokemon. So from there, we're going to face off against Norman next. Norman's going to be the normal type gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against him using my Roserade. Roserade's going to go for a Stun Sport just to paralyze it, but I get Encore, so I got to switch out into my Skitty and then switch back out into my Roserade to Growth in front of him. Eventually, I get a bunch of Growth up and I could just Giga Drain and get my HP back, but I decided to go for the game as I keep Growthing and Leech Seeding him to get my HP back. It doesn't matter if he puts me to sleep or not because I could just wake up and then Giga Drain to knock him out at any point. I'm able to outspeed, knock out the Slaking. He's then going to switch out into his Vigoroth as I'm able to Giga Drain and knock him out as well. And his final Pokemon will be his Ace Slaking, which I'm able to Giga Drain, one-shot him, and we end the battle off against Norman. Get the 5th gym badge of the game. This game is super easy for some reason. From there, we're going to head into New Malville, which I'm not sure why it's called that, but there's a new Pokemon for us to catch, which is going to be our final Pokemon. You don't need to unlock the door. You could just encounter Pokemon in the entrance. So we're able to find ourselves a shiny Magnemite this way and add it to our team. It becomes a little pesky. It doesn't want to capture for some reason, but eventually I am able to weaken it down and then capture it. And then from there, we're able to go into a series of evolution. We're able to evolve our Skitty into a Delcatty, evolve our Magnemite into a Magneton, and then eventually into a Magnezone. And then from there, we're able to face off against Winona next. Winona is going to be the flying type gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Magnezone, which is going to Electro Ball and knock out the Swellow. Next up, she switched out into Rotaria, which I completely forgot she has Earthquake, as I just went in. Let my Magnezone eat entire Earthquake, which it barely survives. Actually, it survives pretty well for something that's 4 times weak. So I'm going to switch out before I start losing my Pokemon. I decided to go out into my Altaria next to Dragon Breath into him as she decides to go for a Congar, and then I'm going to 2-shot him using my Altaria. And then I could go into my Magnezone against the Skarmory, which I know is not going to do a lot of damage to me because it's a Skarmory. So I'm able to Electro Ball and knock out the Skarmory and also the Pelipper using my Magnezone, which is super easy. So we're able to beat down Winona, get the 6th gym badge of the game. And if for anyone wondering at all, I did get the Sludge Bomb TM for my Roserade, and we also beat May in Lily Cove City, if anyone noticed or if anyone cares at all. From there, we're going to face off against Tate and Liza next. Tate and Liza are going to be the 7 gym leaders in the game and probably the easiest gym fight you ever see. So we're going to start the battle off against Tate and Liza using my Roserade and my Magnezone. I decided to just attack the Solrock because I thought it was the scariest one. We're going to Giga Drain and one-shot down the Solrock and then Flash Cannon to knock out the Lunatone by accident. So we end up beating Tate and Liza in 1 turn. Maybe a half turn because a 1 turn didn't even went through. So we're able to beat Tate and Liza, get the 7th gym badge, and then also head down before facing off against Maxie. We have the TM for Earthquake, teach it to our Altaria, and then face off against Maxie next. Maxie is going to be the leader of Team Magma, and this feels more of like a gym battle than the actual Tate and Liza fight. So we're going to start the battle off against him using my Gallade to Power Punch into his Mightyena. 1-shot him, which is nice. Then I Power Punch to the Weezing and then Psycho Cut to knock him out. Again, super easy fight, as we're able to also Psycho Cut into the Crobat Why didn't I go for a Psychic? I went for a Rock Tomb against the Crobat, knock him out with a crit, and then his final Pokemon will be a Camera Up, a Mega Camera Up, which goes down to a Psycho Cut, as we're able to beat down Maxie. I mean, I did say it's a little harder than Tate and Liza, but it's not that much harder. From there, we're going to face off against Primal Groudon next. Well, Primal Groudon is going to be pretty difficult. I mean, supposedly, I start the battle off against Groudon using my Altaria to Earthquake. He goes to bed immediately. So I'm like, okay, so I just go for more Earthquakes. I go for 2 more Earthquakes. He stays asleep, and then a third one would knock him out as we beat Primal Groudon. I'm not even kidding. That's it. That's the entire battle. From there, we're going to head into Wally'S gym. Wally'S gym is probably the hardest part, is figuring out this puzzle. I do it all the time, but yet I keep forgetting. I saved before, and then I still messed up. From there, we're going to face off against Wally'S next. Wally'S is going to be the 8th gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Magnezone, obviously. Magnezone's going to one-shot the Love Disc, which is pretty free. And then it puts me in confusion. That's kind of annoying. He then goes out to his Wish Cache. I go out to my Roserade and Giga Drain. I actually go for a few growths in front of the Wish Cache, and then Giga Drain to get my HP back. And then that should be the end of the battle, as I'm able to one-shot the Milotic, I'm able to one-shot the Sea King, I'm able to one-shot everything on his team. The Celio goes down. I forgot to mention the Celio. It goes down in one shot as well, as we're able to beat down Wally'S and get the 8th gym badge of the game. I'm just so excited to play Scarlet and Violet. I just want to make Scarlet and Violet content so badly. But anyways, from there, we're going to go into a mirror fight, as we're going to face off against Wally himself. We're able to beat down Wally pretty easily, just heading to Victory Road, clear through Wally, and then head into the Pokemon League, get our last heal up, and then face off against the Elite Four. The first member we're going to face off against is going to be Sydney. Sydney's going to be the first Elite Four member we're going to face off against. Sydney's going to start the battle off against us using a Mightyena. He does have Intimidate, but I'm going to start the battle off against him using my Gallade to two-shot him with a Power Punch. He actually swaggers me, so I decided to switch out into my Altaria and switch back out. But he's going to still swagger me, so I'm going to keep switching until he stops doing that. Eventually, I am able to get a Power Punch, get my attack boost without being confused, and then face off against his Absol. And then I'm able to Power Punch again to knock him out, Power Punch again against the Shift Tree. And I get a Steadfast boost, which I haven't seen the entire game until now. And I'm able to clear through the Sharpedo and the Cacturn, as we're able to beat down Sydney and move on to the next Elite Four member. The next Elite Four member on our list is going to be Phoebe. We're going to start the battle off against Phoebe using my Magnezone. Magnezone is going to discharge into the Dusclops, get it paralyzed, as I'm able to discharge twice against him. And then she sends out her Dusclops, which I thought had Earthquake. Doesn't have Earthquake. It has Ice Punch and Fire Punch, which I wasn't too sure of. So the Pokemon I think have Earthquake don't have Earthquake, and the Pokemon I know I have Earthquake don't have Earthquake. But I'm able to go out to my Magnezone. I'm able to discharge twice against the Dusknoir and knock him out, which is pretty free. And then she's gonna decide to send out her Sableye next. I'm able to knock him out in one shot using a Flash Cannon. And then her next Pokemon will be a 2 Bayonets. I'm able to one-shot each of them with 2 Flash Cannons. And then we clear through Phoebe, and now we're going to face off against Glacia next. Glacia is going to be the Ice-type Elite Four member of the game, and we're going to start the battle off against her using my Magnezone. We haven't used Magnezone so much, so I decided to just use more Magnezone. We haven't used Magnezone too much, so I decided to use more Magnezone. I'm able to Flash Cannon into the Glalie to knock him out in one shot. Her next Pokemon is going to be a Walrein, which I decided to go out into my Gallade for some reason. Close combat. No, I lied. Not even close combat. Power Punch. We're going to Power Punch into the Walrein to knock him out. And then she switches out into her Frostlass, which I go out into my Magnezone. Take a Shadow Ball pretty easily, and then a Flash Cannon will one-shot the Frostlass. Lucky enough, it doesn't miss. Every single time possible, it always misses against these Frostlass. But from there, I'm able to Flash Cannon into the Frostlass and knock him out. And then her final Pokemon will be a Glalie. I'm able to Flash Cannon and knock him out pretty easily, as we're able to beat down Glacia without too many issues at all. From there, we're going to face off against Drake next. Drake is going to be the final Elite Four member before the champion fight. We're going to start the battle off against Drake using my Roserade. Roserade is going to easily just go for a Sludge Bomb and two-shot down the Altaria that decides to go for a Cotton Guard. Okay. From there, she's going to switch out into her Kingdra, which I know I could just grow up in front of him. She's going to go for a Yawn, and then I decide to go for a Stun Spore. She goes for a Yawn again for some reason, and then I know I could survive an Ice Beam. So I'm going to wake up, go for a Growth, and then he Ice Beams and crits me. And then I lose my first Pokemon because of a crit. And oh, so close to sweeping this entire Elite Four. I was pretty certain I could sweep the entire Elite Four. But from there, I'm able to discharge into the Kingdra and then switch out into my Altaria. It's paralyzed, so I'm able to Dragon Pulse and knock out the Kingdra at the very least. He then sends out his Salamence, which is kind of scary. But I switch out into my Magnezone. I'm thinking he might have Earthquake, so I want to double check. Go out to my Altaria once again. He does not have Earthquake. He has Crunch as a move. So I decided to go out to my Delcatty. I just want to free switch into my Magazone. I decided to go for a Charm and then lowers the attack stat, and lucky enough he misses his second Dragon Rush, and then I go out into my Magazone. I'm able to Thunder Wave into him and then slowly chip him down using Discharge, and 2 discharges will knock out the Salamence, and then his next Pokemon will be a Flygon. And from here, if I only had my Roserade, this would be so much easier. But I go out into my Altaria next. Altaria is able to Dragon Pulse into the Flygon. Unfortunately, I get confused by the Flygon, so I'm going to switch out into my Gallade next. Gallade is able to Pyro Punch into the Flygon, and I also get confused. But lucky enough, I do hit the Flygon with another Pyro Punch. And lucky enough, I do not hit myself in confusion against this Flygon. I'm able to Power Punch and knock him out at full HP. His next Pokemon is going to be another Flygon. I risked it for some reason, and I hit myself in confusion, but he's going to Screech me, and that was a horrible play. I don't know why I was so confident, but I could switch out to my Altaria next, Dragon Pulse into the Flygon twice to knock him out at the very least, as we end up beating Drake just barely. Oh my god, that was so terribly played. I was just so annoyed. When my Roserade went down, I was just playing so bad, but anyways, from there, we're going to face off against the champion of the game. We're going to face off against Steven Stone next. Steven Stone's the champion of the game. He's going to start the battle off against us using a Skarmory. I'm going to start the battle off against him using my Magnezone. I'm going to go for a Discharge against him. It's going to 2-shot him. Unfortunately, he can set up a Spike against me. That's just kind of annoying. As next up, he's going to switch out into his Aggron, which I am able to go for a Discharge, looking for a Paralyze, but it doesn't get it. He's getting Earthquake me, which is kind of annoying, so I'm going to switch out into my Gallade next. Gallade's able to Power Punch, get some boost up against him for free. He does hit me with an Iron Tail, which is super painful, but I do get a +2 in physical attack. I get 3 more Power Punches against the Claydol, and then a close combat will knock him out for sure. And then his next Pokemon is going to be a Cradily. I know I could one-shot him with a close combat. The Reflect finally wears off. I'm able to close combat into the Almado as well. His final Pokemon is going to be a Mega Metagross, which I know he can go for a Bullet Punch, but on the off chance he doesn't, I could one-shot him. He goes for a Bullet Punch, so unfortunately my Gallade goes down. And from there though, I decided to go out to my Delcatty to charm him. Unfortunately, he's going for a Giga Impact. It's going to knock out my Delcatty, so I decided to go out to my Magnezone, capitalize on this by going for a Thunder Wave. He gets paralyzed, and I don't have any PP at all. I forgot to check this in the last battle, but I'm able to Flash Cannon into him as he goes for a Giga Impact. So he needs to recharge in the next turn. I'm able to Earthquake into the Metagross, and then I Earthquake again, but he decides to go for a Giga Impact, and my Altaria decides to survive it with 57 HP. On this turn, he actually can't heal up, so I'm able to Earthquake once again, knock out his Metagross with my Altaria, and unfortunately that means that 3 more Pokemon went down. So at the end, the last Pokemon standing is my Altaria, which is kind of a shame. It's kind of funny that I went through the entire game once again without losing a single Pokemon until the very end where I lost everyone. I have 4 deaths entirely, but again, it came in the last 2 fights of the game. So it says a lot about me. I just played great into the end of the runs, but that will be it for me today. I want to say thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys can, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Anyways, my name has been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day, and I am out. Peace.